Hello folks, welcome back to the channel, and as you enjoy some very nice shots here with me flying in the Mega X, actually in this case, in MSFS 2024, let's have a bit of a chat about a rumour. Something I don't tend to do on the channel very often, but this one is, well, relatively solid because it's from the guys at Upload VR. And yes, basically in a nutshell, Valve's next headset has reportedly entered mass production. So we all know the Valve Index was the mainstay for high-end PC VR headsets when it came out. Apart from the lower resolution, Valve did most things right with it, including a decent field of view, really great build quality, good software support, you know, and also what excited me about the Valve Index more than the headset itself is Half-Life Alyx. So I'm really hoping that we're going to get a Half-Life Alyx 2 or some kind of big deal AAA VR title to go with it. Now, let's be honest here, this headset is not going to compete against the likes of the high-end market of today, especially for this channel's focus, flight simulation. Headsets such as the Crystal Super, maybe even the Big Screen Beyond version 2, perhaps even the Play for Dream MR will have high resolution VR displays. And I really don't think, in fact I'm almost certain, that this new Valve headset won't have an OLED screen. It'll probably be a lot lower resolution than we'd all hoped, and either an LCD variant, like a QLED display, most likely. What it will have, though, is, of course, Valve's just special magic. That is fantastic build quality. You know, it will be a headset that will stand the test of time, and if you buy one, you're more than likely going to enjoy it for many years to come. It will most likely be wireless as well, so I'm not quite sure what that's going to mean in terms of the fidelity, how much that's going to suffer. I do think with Steam Link it's getting better and better, and Steam Link version 2.0 with the Play for Dream, for example, is actually very good. So I'm expecting them to utilize the very latest technology when it comes to wireless streaming to get the very best possible image, and no doubt that will get better as software and firmware updates happen in the future. So I'm going to reserve judgment on that because obviously I am a DisplayPort snob, but we'll see what happens when we get the full official specs and figures, because you never know, there might even be a DisplayPort connector on it. That would be amazing, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. It's looking like this particular headset from Valve will be inside out tracking rather than their traditional base station, which is interesting because it does make me wonder about the lifespan that's left for the Valve base station ecosystem. I mean, you can get the HTC variants, but I do feel that, you know, this whole idea of having sensors on your wall for VR headsets is becoming a little bit archaic very quickly. Even though I must say, for me, I do prefer it because it's a lot more accurate. Now, according to Upload VR, and I'll leave the article in the description below, the group, which calls itself XR Research, claims that the launch is set for this year. So, I mean, we're already almost in the middle of October. So that's quite exciting, and estimates a production run, probably an initial production run of 400,000 to 600,000 units per year. That's not really a lot, to be honest. And actually, I think in some ways that's a good thing, because I think Valve are being realistic about how successful this is going to be, especially with the state of VR at the moment, which is pretty shaky to say the least, especially for the gaming market. I think for the flight simulation and training segment, VR is booming, but that's another video for another time. But I mean, you know, this will hopefully be targeted towards gaming and not productivity, because I'm so sick of new VR headsets being released with that emphasis on, you know, work life and productivity and all the rest of it. I don't care about that. You know, I want a proper full-on really great gaming VR headset, and this could be something that excites me as a replacement for my Quest 3. Now, the rumour that the mass production has started, I actually believe, because unlike some other VR manufacturers such as Pimax, they tend to announce things far too early. I think Valve are very much of the mindset that they'll only announce something once it's finalised and ready for prime time, which I do respect, very much like actually Big Screen and Meta, in that once they've announced it, it's probably going to be available very, very soon afterwards. Maybe a pre-order might happen, I've no idea, but in any case, I think your money will be safe with Valve. That's just my sort of gut feeling there. So it's looking like this new Valve headset, which could be called the Steam Frame, will be a standalone VR headset, which is both a good and bad thing, as I've just mentioned, you know, but I'll reserve judgment on that. But it's very exciting news, I must say, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how this pans out. I did borrow a Valve Index for quite a few months, and I was really impressed with how it felt, how it performed, you know, and I'm really intrigued to see what kind of form factor this is going for. Being Valve, you know, they're not going to release a headset every 5 minutes, so it's interesting to see what the specifications are going to be like, how future-proof this headset is going to be. If you're interested, I can buy one for the channel, but I don't really know if it's going to be that interesting for this particular user group, but please do let me know. That'll do for this video today. Thanks for watching. Please let me know in the comments below. Are you interested in this new Valve headset? Or is it, you know, something that could be used not for flight simulation, but for gaming and maybe even flat screen as well? Because I can imagine parts of the feature set for this new Steam Frame, let's call it, will be playing, you know, with a massive, great big screen in front of you. But that will only work if the headset has a decent resolution. One thing I am very intrigued about is how are the lenses going to be in this new headset, because obviously the Valve Index, one of the things I hated about it was the God rays and glare. You know, with those Fresnel lenses, they were god awful. This just has to have pancake lenses, for goodness sake. So if they're in-house or produced by a third-party company, I'm not sure, it'll be interesting to see how they compare to the likes of other pancake lenses from the Quest 3 and again the Beyond 2. Right, that'll do for this little video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.